If I wanted to hit 6 figures in a year, here's exactly what I would do. This isn't just some dreamer video. I'm talking from real experience. I'm gonna be giving you guys the blueprint on what I would do, especially if I had to start over to get to 6 figures with all the information that I know nowadays. Whether you're trading, working a job, building a business, or building something, this video will show you how to take what you're already doing and turn it into something much bigger. So let's run into it. So for me, I made my first 6 figures by the time I was 20 years old. At the time I'm recording this video, I'm 28 years old at the moment. So I'm talking from experience, because nowadays what was once a goal for me to reach 6 figures is now something that I'm making on trades, even alone from when I started. When I started trading and getting into investing, I remember starting off trading with $5, $10, $100 trades, and then working my way up, now to the point where I'm clearing 6-figure trades. This video is gonna be talking a lot from experience because over the years, I've been able to share my knowledge and information with thousands and thousands of people worldwide. It's worked for me, and it's worked for a lot of others who have followed the blueprints and the disciplines that it takes. So basically throughout this video, I'm gonna be showing you guys what it took me, what I did to get myself to where I am now, from 10 years ago to being able to speak on stage, mentor, and teach others. So for me, when I started, before I hit 6 figures, I was trading, making a couple $1,000s per month in the markets and with my business. It was decent money, but it wasn't 6 figures and where I wanted to go. So I had to change some things up to scale in my trading. So we're about to go through the blueprint, step by step, step 1, step 2, step 3, and forward on what I would do if I was to start over to get to 6 figures. The things that I would do and the decisions and the disciplines that I would take and the roadmap to get there. The first thing I'd do is look at what is already working for me. I would recognize the lane that I am in. Are you making $2,000 a month? Are you making $3,000 a month? Are you making $4,000 a month, in that range? Whatever it is, maybe you're making more than that. Maybe you're making 5K, 6K a month, or a bit less, right? First, I would recognize is what lane am I in? So if I was making $3,000 a month, I wouldn't be focused on 10 different businesses, 5 different businesses. I would just be focused on locking in on one skill set. I'd be asking myself questions like, how could I increase this $3,000 that I'm making a month, or $2,000 or $4,000, whatever lane that I'm currently in at the moment? How can I increase this $3,000 a month to $4,000 a month, to $5,000 a month? Or even how can I increase this $3,000 a month to $3,500 a month? I would start thinking like this to build a foundation. Whether I had a job or a career, if I was to start over to try to get 6 figures, I would need some source of income as well. So I wouldn't panic about getting to 10K a month right away. I would set a foundation based on what I already had. I would try to optimize the current income that I already have and live the cheapest. This is where we're gonna talk about. I would lock in on a 12-month focused plan. So step 1, we need a foundation. We need a source of income, a guaranteed source of income, whether that's 2K, 3K, 4K a month. That could be from a job, that could be from trading, building an online business, all of those things together, whatever it is that you're already doing. When I first started trading, I was working a full-time job, 60 hours a week. So I had income coming in for the year. I was making $30,000 a year with the career that I had when I was 17, 18, 19 years old. So I had a source of income coming in that was about $3,000 per month. So I knew that was there, right? That was the lane that I was in. My goal was, how can I take this $3,000 a month to $5,000 a month? For me, it was trading. For you, it might be something different, but I know a lot of people watching this video, it's going to be trading, right? For me, it was trading. That was the one thing that I focused on, the skill set that I said I'm going to master and learn to try to take myself from point A to point B. So number 1, we need to have a consistent cash flow. That could be a job, freelancing, we need a foundation. Number 2, pick a skill set to master. For me, it was trading. Once you have a foundation built for yourself and a skill set you're going to learn, again, for me, it was trading, you need to focus on a 12-month locked-in plan. You can't just expect this to happen overnight. You need to look at the bigger picture and say, okay, you know what? Point A to point B is going to be a 12-month locked-in plan that I'm going to follow a routine and disciplines and learn a skill set and try to make more money, increase my capital. This is the part where most people fall off because they don't give themselves long enough time. Most people have high expectations and want things to happen 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. You need to give yourself a 12-month minimum locked in plan, especially if you're trying to get to 6 figures in the bank account. Remember, this also goes back to recognizing your lane. If I'm only making 3K a month, 4K a month, again, relating back to where I started 10 years ago. Because when I started 10 years ago, I was at like $3,000 per month in income. And that's in Canadian dollars. So that's less than US dollars, okay? So make sure before you're even going forward, you commit to a full 1-year plan. No bouncing around, no excuses. Wake up early, trade, study, work, save or invest, study and repeat. You're gonna measure your progress every month, not every day. That's why we need a 12-month focus plan. Just like any of you guys watching this that have a job already or a career, at the end of the month, you get that paycheck, or you know you're making X amount per month at your job. So you track your income usually monthly with your job, right? So we wanna track our progress on a monthly basis. And again, like I said, this is the part where most people fall off, is the time frame, because most people quit due to slow progress, okay? So remember that. If I was super serious about getting to 6 figures, I would already be planning the next 12 months ahead for myself. Not looking for quick flips, just building, stacking, and staying focused along the way. This is that 12-month period is where you need to double down on learning income producing skills like trading, Forex, crypto, gold. So you want to back test and learn a strategy. One strategy is fine enough. So for me, when I started 10 years ago, I knew I needed to find an income producing skill. So it was trading. So what were the steps that I took on a daily basis to get better and learn trading every single day? I would spend a couple hours a day studying the market, studying the market, studying the market, so I could get better at trading, so I could make more money, right? Once I learned the skill set of trading, it helped me understand the markets more, so I could find setups and find opportunities to make me money in the market. And take where I was, $3,000 a month to maybe $3,500, $4,000, $4,500 a month with those types of skills. Because back then, at these times in 2017, I was making maybe a couple $1,000s, right? Nothing crazy, maybe having $1,000 weeks, sometimes a little bit more, a little bit less. Nothing too crazy out of that range. No 5K days, no 10K days, no 10K months, anything like that. It was maybe like $1,200 weeks was my highest at the time. But to get there, I had to learn the skill set of trading first, right? To understand this. So what did I do? Every day, backtest a strategy, understand risk management. I would do daily, weekly reviews, morning chart prep work, and I would practice taking 1 to 2 trades a day max, and I would journal everything. And at these stages of my life, I was doing a lot of personal development. This helped me stay unemotional along the process, right? Because a lot of people will quit in trading. So I understood that personal development was something key. Personal development allowed me to have the no quit mindset, the all in mindset of I'm gonna do this, I'm going to figure it out. So you wanna reinvest in yourself, whether that's through personal development or just how you spend your time, right? Time is money, and how you spend your time will add up over time, right? You may catch yourself years down looking back like, man, why did I spend my time like this? Or why did I spend my money like this? So there's 2 things we wanna reinvest in. One is our brain, right? The skill set, the knowledge, personal development, right? We wanna invest in these things on a daily, weekly basis. Number 2, again, is how you spend your time. When I first got into the markets, I was a young kid. I like to go out a lot and party and stuff. I had to kind of separate from that type of environment or that type of world and learn how to live below my needs. So this is where we're gonna talk about maximizing your capital and learning to live below your means, right? If you're trying to get to 6 figures, you gotta learn to also live below your means, especially recognizing what lane you're in. The next step is about cash flow discipline. Cut unnecessary spending. Live way below your means for that 12-month projection, right? It goes back to that 12-month lock-in period. So if I wanted to get to 6 figures, I would lock in for 12 months. But again, in that 12 months, I would learn how to live below my means, and I would understand the difference between assets and liabilities. Liabilities could be how I spend my time, right? And what I waste my money on, what I spend my money on. This means learning, reinvesting, and accumulating real assets. Let's use an example on the charts. Gonna pull up the charts for an example, and I'm gonna go to Netflix. Example, Netflix. Some of you guys watching this video have been paying for Netflix for the last 10 years, 5 years. But look at the stock. Do you actually own any Netflix stock, right? Or Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies. This is where we're gonna talk about accumulating real assets versus liabilities, right? So on your journey to getting to ahead or getting to more, you don't wanna be accumulating liabilities. For instance, Netflix stock per share is at $1,200. How many of you guys watching this video own any Netflix stock or any ownership in that, right? Probably maybe a handful of you, probably maybe not too many of you, but most of you guys watching this video probably pay for Netflix on a monthly basis. Here's where we talk about cutting unnecessary spending habits. I know it might sound crazy, right? But if you're actually trying to get ahead in that 12-month period, you're gonna need to sacrifice some things, right? And you're gonna need to know the difference between how successful people think or 6, 7, and 8-figure earners think about money, right? Netflix, for example, do the math. It could be $12.99 a month, $15.99 a month, $18.99 a month, whatever it is. If you're paying that every single month for the next 10, 20 years, you're not accumulating assets, you're just accumulating entertainment. Rich people, wealthy people, they accumulate assets. Education, entertainment, E versus E. So we like to accumulate things that will help us earn more or keep more of our money. So I would understand this. And when I started, this guy you see over here in 2016, that's the way I started thinking. In 2016, 2017, I started to think like this about my money. Live below my means. If I was living on $1,500 a month, earning $3,000 a month, without hesitation, I would be investing $1,000 per month. That might seem aggressive, but I'm gonna do that for a 12-month period, and it's gonna get me ahead. Whether I'm investing it in my trading account or my cryptocurrency account, I'm gonna find a way to get ahead, especially with the information that I know in this day and age. Again, for me, the income producing assets, the income producing skills was trading gold, trading Forex, learning cryptocurrency, trading cryptocurrency. The guy on the right here that you actually see, 2018, one of my friends is in this picture actually. You see the guy in 2016, you see the guy in 2018, you see the guy now. This guy was always reinvesting, investing, learning how to invest in cryptocurrency pairs. At this time in 2016, 2017, 2018 was when I started learning about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP. I'm actually pictured with one of my best friends. I blurred him out just in case he didn't want to be in this video, but that's one of my buddies who actually is also into cryptocurrency too. And in those days, in 2018, we were buying Bitcoin, we were buying Ethereum, we were buying XP, we were learning about this stuff, right? And this helped us with another step, accumulating assets, right? This comes with another step that we're gonna get into is accumulating assets like cryptocurrency. But where it started out for me was my job income, my trading profits that I would make. I would try to reinvest those trading profits into cryptocurrencies. I wouldn't try to spend it on things. I wasn't someone who wanted to spend my money on everything. I was someone who wanted to invest, reinvest. If I made $300 in the week, if I made $500 in the week, I would take that and try to reinvest it into something else. Whether that's my trading account to grow my account more, right? If you make $3,000 a month, let's say you had a $500 trading account and you're gonna trade it on a monthly basis. You're just gonna trade $500, small risk, small risk, but you add to that trading account maybe on a monthly basis, right? That could be taking the account up $500 a month from not even trading. That would be more like a reinvestment account in a way, investing back into your trading account to grow the account, not your lifestyle. You shouldn't be worried about growing your lifestyle on the way to 6 figures. That will come after that. Once you hit 6 figures, that lifestyle will change. So if you think about your trading account, right, and you had only $500 in your trading account, but you had a job income or a source of income that you could reinvest. If I only had a $500 trading account, I would take a bit of what I'm making and reinvest it into my trading account so I could eventually trade a bit bigger along the way, right? Let's say I put $500 a month into my trading account, right? Even if I don't trade, over the year, I'm gonna be putting $6,000 into my trading account. Even if I don't trade, I could take 1 trade a week. I could take 5 trades a month, right? I could trade the account gradually and I could add to the account to compound it over time. So if I'm trading it too, there's gonna be some profits grown along the way, right? That's one way you could look at your trading account, right? But one of the biggest steps for me is I would create a good trading plan that I could follow monthly, whether that's taking one trade a day, one trade a week. I would follow a plan that would allow me to make some profits from the market, withdraw those profits, reinvest those profits into things that I know are going to perform, things that I know move, whether that's cryptocurrency. I would get into the lane of having cash flow monthly with trading, right? I would try to have a weekly plan, a monthly plan that could help me take profits from the market, reinvest it, convert those profits into crypto. I would buy or even stake high conviction crypto profits. So in that year of locking in, I would be converting my profits into crypto. Any trading profits that I'm able to make in that year or any month, any week, I would be withdrawing it and converting it into crypto. Things that I believe in. Your goal is to turn your income into something that outlives it. I'd be stacking assets that will still hold value in 5, 10 years. Not necessarily chasing end of month money. I would be accumulating things like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, projects that I know have a really good long-term value and will still hold value even in the next couple of years. The truth is most people could hit 6 figures, but they won't because they won't focus for long enough. I'd pick one skill set, lock in on a routine, live cheap, stack every dollar with intention, and invest monthly into assets that compound. It's not going to be flashy, but it does work. So if you're serious about building real income and real freedom, you want to have a plan. You want to have discipline. You don't want to chase the lifestyle or over capital, and you want to have long-term vision. These are things that most people don't have when they're thinking about getting to that 6 figures or getting to 10K a month, $8, $9, $10,000 a month, trying to scale up. You need a plan around it. You need to lock in. And again, it goes back to me. For me, it was trading. For you, it might be sales, content, coding, flipping, marketing, whatever it is, building a business. Don't look for easy money. Look for skills that hold long-term value, especially in these times. There's a lot of things going on in the world. It's been chaotic. It's hard for people to live. A lot of things are expensive. Me, I can do this from anywhere. That's the beautiful part about it. I can actually be anywhere in the world, run my businesses, run my trading, and do whatever it is now. It took time to get there, and it's not going to be pretty in the beginning. So if you're still stuck with like $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 weeks, or even these types of months, it's not trading, that's surviving. It's time for you guys to learn how to scale real. For me, it was about experiencing breakthroughs. You might feel stuck along the way. You might have the right information, or you might have the wrong information. One, you need the correct information and the correct knowledge. In this day and age, information is currency. There's so much information out right now compared to when I started. We have so much access to information. It should be very easy in 2025 to motivate yourself to get to the next level. Most people have a New Year's resolution, right? On January, New Year's, they always say new me, new year type of thing, right? Realistically, if you build an actual plan and set goals towards something and work towards it consistently, the universe will find a way to reward you as long as you're working towards something. That's why most people are stuck, because most people don't have the long-term vision. I've coached thousands of people worldwide, and they're doing this. They're following the disciplines and they're experiencing breakthroughs themselves because they're taking the information that I've given them. That changed my life and took me from point A to point B. So maybe you're looking on how to get from point A to point B. One, you need the right mentor, you need the right coach, and you need the right information, and you need the right plan and long-term vision for yourself, which is what most people don't have. Once you create that long-term vision, there's steps you follow every month. And it may not be pretty in the beginning. It's not flashy getting to 6 figures, right? If you want to get yourself to the next level, you may need to put yourself in the right environment too. You're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with realistically. So if you're spending your time with 5 people who aren't goal-orientated, who don't have visions of getting to the next level, you're going to be stuck in that, what we like to call, rat race. If you're in a community, you're in an environment where there's people that are trying to get to the next level, they're trying to get to above average. It also starts here with your mindset. There are over 10 years of doing this and coaching tens of thousands of people worldwide. I figured out the proper blueprints, formulas, and steps that it could take to get you to six figures or get you to the next level. Maybe you have something that's already working for you and you want to take it into something bigger. That's what we do inside of my Inner Circle community. We have hundreds of active students at the moment inside my Inner Circle community that are having results, following the blueprints, following the disciplines, the same breakthroughs that I experienced years ago to get myself to where I am right now. Inside my Inner Circle community, we have students making as much as $15,000 to $20,000 a month on their own trading with the information that they've learned from me. We have students producing real incomes on a weekly and monthly basis, anywhere ranging from $500 a week to $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a week are the types of results we have inside of my Inner Circle community. They have access to the right information. And in the year of 2025, there's so much information out there that can help you take your knowledge to the next level and your lifestyle. If you guys are serious about building real income, real freedom, hit the like button. Comment down below. Let me know what lane you're in right now and how you're attacking the rest of the year or the next 12 months.